Hey guys, James here, how you doing? So this is a video response to the Fate Wolf and her video where she expresses the view that men should have no say in abortion whatsoever, regardless of whether or not they're on the pro-life or pro-choice side. So she has received a lot of flack for that video, and rightfully so, but don't be too harsh on her. I've been a subscriber of hers for a long time, and she hasn't said anything offensive before, and she actually seems pretty egalitarian. I guess what I'm trying to say is, just if you're going to argue with her, stick to the points in the comment section. Don't be calling her a crazy feminazi bitch or anything like that, because it couldn't be further from the truth. So anyway, let's get on with the video.
I felt like maybe I should just throw this video out there and not make it a specific response, because it's not actually a specific response, it's just something that's been building up for a while. And it kind of came to head yesterday, a comment section underneath this one video made by Coyote about abortion. And this comment section, it was 20 comments where we went back and forth, and it seemed like they had this repeating thing going on where I kept trying to explain to him that his opinion is irrelevant, and he kept trying to tell me that he doesn't understand why his opinion is relevant, and we just went back and forth.
At this point in the video, I'd actually misheard what she was saying. I thought she was telling Coyote that his opinion was relevant and he couldn't understand why it was. So I had my finger over the thumb up button, but that of course rapidly changed once I got further on into the video. Now, of course, I'm never going to go through an abortion myself, but I do have a little thing called empathy, and although I may not be able to fully understand what women are going through, I can appreciate that what the Republican Party are doing with some of their the policies they're pushing for is just completely shitty as fuck and inhumane. Now, as a person with empathy who wants to stick up for other people, regardless of race, gender, sexuality, etc., yeah, I'm very much against what they're pushing for as well.
And I didn't know how much clearer I could make myself, and I don't even know if I can do that now, because I thought I kind of laid out everything, but maybe I didn't. Maybe. I don't know. It boggles my mind when there's a pile of men out there, when they believe that, if they're pro-choice, then they should be allowed to weigh in on the argument, that their opinion actually counts, because they're standing for what's right.
Both sides of the debate think they're standing up for what's right and are quite passionate about it for the most part. And both sides should be able to weigh in and voice their opinions.
And they don't seem to understand that in a certain way they're exactly the same as pro-life men, in which they are still trying to tell a woman what to do with her body.
I failed to see your logic there. The pro-life people, they're telling you what to do with your body. Now, with pro-choice men, we're saying, hey, you should have an abortion, then yeah, that would be telling you what to do with their body. But they're not. They're saying, hey, it's kind of up to you. Make up your own mind. Don't let me tell you what to do with your body. Choose for yourself. It's completely different.
Because there's pro-life women out there that definitely don't want to hear his fucking opinion as a man. And his opinion to them is completely fucking irrelevant.
There's pro-life people who don't want to hear any contradicting view, but if there's one positive thing I can say for the pro-life people, it's that I've never heard them dismiss someone's argument simply because they're a man.
And The reason a man's opinion is completely fucking irrelevant when it comes to abortion is because they don't fucking have a uterus and they don't know what it means to have a fucking abortion.
Now, what seems to be the logical consequence of what you're saying there is that abortion doesn't affect men. It does. Clearly not to the same degree, but who's generally the closest person to offer support? The man. Other than the mother who's forced into parenthood if they both don't want a child? The man. Who is generally there to provide for and look after the woman while she's heavily pregnant? The man. Now, I wouldn't want to be in a relationship where my girlfriend couldn't have access to an abortion, and I would do every goddamn fucking thing in my power to prevent that from happening. And no, a man doesn't know what it's like to have an abortion, but we do have empathy and compassion for our fellow fully formed human beings. And following on from that logic, lesbians, infertile women, and transgendered people, well, they should all have no say either. Having a uterus doesn't give you some magical powers to understand the topic. If it did, then there wouldn't be such a big divide among women on this topic. Now, as for the pro-life side, for a start, they think that it's murder, so they should be able to have a say on that basis alone, even if they are clearly wrong. And secondly, their tax money is going towards paying for it, so it does directly affect them. And what you're basically saying there is, because it doesn't affect them as much, they shouldn't be allowed to have any say. And that's the same logic which was used to prevent women from voting. Hey, you're not on the draft, so shut the fuck up, because you're never going to be forced to go to war and die for your country. So you should have no say over politics because military is involved with it.
And when I clearly stated that in the comment section, what I got was like these silly arguments like, so, I shouldn't be allowed then to support gay people because I'm not gay, and or I shouldn't, should I not argue for the rights of gay people because I'm not gay? There's like millions of ways in which this is wholly unrelated, but the biggest one perhaps would be the fact that like gay men and lesbian women and people who are transgender, they don't choose to be this way. Like, it's not a personal fucking choice. They don't just turn around one day and say, hey, I think I'm going to be gay today, or I think I want to be gay for the rest of my life, or, have a gay man turn around and say, you know what, I think I'm just going to be straight. It doesn't work that way, okay? Obviously, we all know that. We all get it. So, it can't be the same fucking thing.
Now, most people who are against gay people's rights, they're not arguing that people aren't allowed to be gay, they're arguing that they're not allowed to give blood, or they're not allowed to get married, or adopt children, or hold hands or kiss in public places, that kind of thing. And, those things, they are all choices, just like abortion. Now, I'm a heterosexual man. Just like with abortion, I couldn't possibly understand what it's like to have attraction towards another man. So, that's why the comparison is valid. But, I'm still going to stand up for gay people's rights because, I think that people should be allowed to do whatever the fuck they want with their own body, even if it doesn't make sense to me personally, as long as it doesn't hurt other people in the process. One of the reasons for this is because there are lots of things that I like to do which other people don't necessarily agree with. I'm smoking right now. I'm drinking coffee. I'm sure there's some motherfuckers out there who think that coffee should be banned. I like to drink. I like to smoke some weed occasionally. All sorts of things like that, which there's plenty of people who are, who are just rabidly trying to fight against. And, if I don't stand up for other people's bodily autonomy, then I can't whine and act all butthurt when mine gets violated as well.
See, According to Cocteau's plan, I'm the enemy. Because I like to think. I like to read. I'm into freedom of speech and freedom of choice. I'm the kind of guy who likes to sit in a greasy spoon and wonder, gee, should I have the T-bone steak or the jumbo rack of barbecue ribs with the side order of gravy fries? I want high cholesterol. I want to eat bacon and butter and buckets of cheese, okay? I want to smoke a Cuban cigar the size of Cincinnati in the non-smoking section. I want to run through the streets naked with green jello all over my body reading Playboy magazine. Why? Because I suddenly might feel the need to, okay, pal? I've seen the future. You know what it is? It's a 47-year-old virgin sitting around in his beige pajamas drinking a banana broccoli shake singing, I'm an Oscar Mayer wiener. You live up top, you live Cocteau's way. What he wants, when he wants, how he wants.
Because they don't choose this. Okay? It's just the way it is. So, should we support gay people? Yeah, we should. Because that's what they are, that's how they are, and they don't have any other choice. And they shouldn't be discriminated against for being the way they are. Okay?
From a secular viewpoint, whether or not homosexuality is a choice or whether people are born like it is completely fucking irrelevant. All that matters is, does their behaviour hurt anybody else? If the answer is no, which of course it is, then they should be able to do whatever the fuck they want with their own bodies. If the answer is yes, then they shouldn't. Now, I think the reason that the whole it's a choice argument gets brought up by the Christian fundamentalists is that they can't believe that a god would create someone in a way which predetermined them to go to hell and be omnibenevolent. You know, they believe that going to heaven or hell is a choice, and so the two things there can't line up. So, you know, they have to either have supreme cognitive dissonance or, you know, make up some bullshit like it's a people choose to be gay. You know, that's why we argue against it. You know, it's not because it being a choice is meaningful or relevant. You know, I think I read a while ago about a gene which makes people naturally hyper-aggressive. Now, you know, if one of those people is out there on the street stabbing people, are you going to be saying, well, you know, they can't help it, that's the way they were born, so let's just let them continue? No, of course not. You're either going to have them treated, or you're going to lock them up somewhere where they don't pose a threat to other people. A more relevant example would be paedophiles. You know, even if we find out that genetically, you know, they cannot help their attraction towards children, you know, there's no element of choice in their mind as far as that goes, that wouldn't make child molestation okay, because children can't give informed consent. Whether it's a choice to them or not is completely irrelevant.
Like, it's gotten to the point where there's a whole bunch of men on one side saying women should be able to do whatever they want to do with their bodies. And then there's a whole bunch of men on the other side going, women should carry the child for full term, and because if they have an abortion, it's murder. And, you know, what I'm trying to say, like, and I don't know how to make it any clearer, is that what any man thinks is completely fucking unimportant. And you can say, you know, well, we can debate the you know, the legal issues of this, or we can debate the health issues of this, or we can debate the religious issues of this. No, we really can't. Okay? Because when it comes down to making that choice, and this is from, like, personal experience, none of those debates mean a fucking thing. Okay? They just fucking don't.
Now, the points don't become meaningless because of someone's genitals. You don't have special magical female logic which, if a man says it, it suddenly doesn't mean anything. The only thing which matters is the question, is it murder? If the answer's yes, then it should be illegal in all circumstances and everything else is irrelevant. If the answer's no, then it should be legal in all circumstances and everything else is irrelevant. You know, if the pro-life people didn't think that it was murder, then they wouldn't be standing against it, because everything else would be irrelevant when it comes to your bodily autonomy. Your fifis and personal experiences don't override that question, and nor do anybody else's.
They really, really don't. So, when a woman chooses to have an abortion, there is no way in any universe, ever, that any man can fucking understand what that feels like, or what had to happen in this woman's head in order to get to that decision.
Yeah, of course, a man can never have anywhere near a full understanding of what it's like, but, you know, we do have empathy and compassion, and, you know, we will talk to women and they'll tell us about their experiences. So, unless you're telling us that women just lie all the time and we should ignore everything they say, then, you know, we are able to have a little bit of an understanding, and we're able to say, you know, this topic is very important to somebody I care about, and I'm going to support them, and I'm going to help and support them through it.
So, if a man claims that he understands, which that's one of the actual little comment things that like really kind of got to me, is like, well, you know, if a man understands, then why shouldn't he be allowed, you know, to weigh in on the issue? Because a man doesn't understand. Because a man does not have a uterus. Because a man does not make this choice. Ever. Like, ever. Okay? And this is why. Because a man does not understand. And whatever a man thinks he understands about the subject or this issue is not only wrong, but irrelevant in every fucking possible way. We just don't fucking need you. How much clearer can that be? We don't fucking need you. When it comes down to making a choice between having an abortion or keeping a baby, we don't need your fucking opinion. Ever. Like, ever. It's just, it fucking boggles my mind. It's arrogant to assume that you know what you're talking about.
You'd have a point if men were saying, yeah, I know exactly how painful it is to go through an abortion, and I know all of the feelings and everything which led up to it. Then, yeah, you'd have a fucking point. But most of the time, we're not arguing from that viewpoint. Again, though, you know, we are able to speak to women and they can tell us their thoughts and feelings on it, and we can inform ourselves based on that, unless you're telling us to just ignore women because they lie all the time. But no, having a uterus doesn't give you some magical ability to understand neurology and embryology and subjects like that. You know, that's just crazy. It doesn't give you magical powers to understand things like that. And I think men are perfectly entitled to argue from those standpoints.
And yeah, it's offensive.
You know what I find offensive? Someone on my side of the debate telling me to go fuck myself because of my genitalia. That I find pretty fucking offensive. If you don't want to listen to men on the issue, then don't watch their videos, don't read their blogs. Hell, you know, if you ever want an abortion, don't go and have a male doctor perform the procedure on you. You know, there's plenty of women out there who are intactivists, you know, against circumcision. They argue from medical and ethical viewpoints. You know, they don't claim to know exactly what it's like, but you know, when they have some empathy to understand that it's painful, you know, I'm not going to be arguing against that. The intactivist women, the men's rights women, I'm eternally fucking grateful for for what they're doing, and the only men who are standing against them, saying they should have no right to speak on the issue, they're widely considered to be fucking arseholes. So yeah, let's pretend that you actually got your wish, that everybody, all the men on your side, just shut up and stayed out of it because they couldn't possibly understand. What's going to be left? Are you going to be convincing the pro-life men of your viewpoint that they should stay out of it? No. So all of the men performing the procedure, they have to stay out of it. There's going to be less than half of the number of doctors available to do it. The majority of men in Congress and people who pass laws who are pro-choice, they'll have to stay out of it as well. If you got your wish, that would be the worst possible thing for your side, and that would really be stabbing yourself in the foot.
To me, it's offensive. Coyote, you're an intelligent guy, alright? And that's pretty obvious. Like, I've watched some of your videos, and I've gone through some of your comment sections, and I've been around YouTube for quite a while, and I don't come across a lot of intelligent men, but I do come across a few.
And I've come across loads of intelligent women. Anyway, that's it from me for now. Next time I do a video a bit like this, I'll be talking about male reproductive rights and what I think the solution is to that matter. But until next time, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.